But do you guys, when you do your marketing, because I'm always interested in this because you're doing such dialed in, like big level, big data marketing, like how granular do you guys get on where you're going to market and how you're going to do it?
Yeah.
It has to be big.
Yeah. So we'll advertise nationally and locally. So we're kind of, we want to be everywhere where the eyeballs are. So we do get good national buys that we do across the country, English and Spanish. But we also do localized advertising as well. So we'll go as far as like we have local, office suites in certain locations, and we'll have, on the street marketing, as well as, radio or digital and TV. So we really just try to have as much market share as we can, but it does vary depending on the state. Whereas some states, firms don't handle statewide, so we'll have local attorneys. Texas, we have about 50 clients.
I was going to say it's
in Texas
state.
because it's the same thing. They may not have a doctor's network, in Austin if they're in Houston.
But how much do you pay attention to like the success of the lawyer or law firm that you're working with?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like that, because you're being altruistic about it. It's from client call comes in, and there's a point of success. How interested are you in the success story of that client, and how does it match?
It does, and part of the juggling act is being a consumer-facing brand, because we have a responsibility to the consumer that we're connecting them, to a qualified, good attorney, but also we want to make sure that the attorney is getting value in the case as well. The reality is our program doesn't work for subpar attorneys. It works for the best of the best. And we are competing on quality. We're not competing on anything other than that. So the program is going to work for the best attorneys who get the best results.
Okay, so let's get into, well, you guys are lagging a little bit, but David, who are the dirt bags in the industry you do not work with? I want to ask Maro's questions. You can't mention Maro's.
This episode's hard for me because I have lots of opinions on this stuff, but I'm not going to talk to Sam on this episode.
Look at him, sugar smacks.
After this, when the camera's not rolling, I could tell you a lot of stuff that I've seen in the last 30 years.
Well, here's I'll just speak.
The last 30 years.
There's a lot of lawyers that are just acquiring leads from a lot of folks and doing very bad things. So we've heard horror stories of it. It's not Walker, it's some other folks, but
Sure.
But how do you prevent against the bad players in our industry doing those things?
Yeah.
Because you guys are a big national brand, probably the biggest.
Yeah.
Like, how do you protect against that?
Yeah. I mean, we've fired clients before. And the reality is there is an aspect
when you
of
say client, these are law firms.
law firms. So there is an element of like, we don't want to, help people find a babysitter on Craigslist. Like we there's an assumption it's our brand as well. So people will leave us reviews based upon their experience with the law firm, and we're not the law firm.
How long have you been there? 10 years?
I've been there a little over 5 years.
Wow, 5 years.
Yeah.
So right before, holy shit, you've been there right before COVID,
right
and then
before
it
COVID.
hits?
Yeah.
So you're supposed to be like in San Diego proper.
It's funny that he mentions Craigslist, because I've had this conversation with several people recently.
Maro actually found his tour guide in Africa on Craigslist. If you watched that episode,
of course, but it's just
yeah, of course.
I wasn't aware that like the younger people, like when I say something like, "Oh, I found this on Craigslist," they're like, "You use Craigslist?" They're like shocked that I use Craigslist. It's like, is it for like old people? Because I like Craigslist and eBay, and people like my secretary sometimes, or my reception office. I'll get a package and it'll come in and I have like the tape on it. It says like eBay or whatever. She's like, "You buy shit on eBay? Who the fuck uses eBay?" I said, "Shit, I've been using them for 30 years." I said, and same thing. I use eBay and Craigslist, and I'm considered like a dinosaur. Nobody uses these things anymore.
But I mean, you look at their target audience. I don't know the answer, but where are they? Are they on Craigslist? Are they on?
No. I was more so saying that where
I don't know.
We don't want to do that because you don't want to refer someone. It says something about you as well. So we want to make sure that we're referring consumers to good attorneys who are getting good results for them, because we have a vested interest in the outcome as well, because we know that clients will stay if they're getting good results, and they're going to get good results if they get good outcomes for the clients. So it's kind of like the circle of life.
Yeah. So let's do with this last pour here. Get the quiet man, because you're usually the silent killer here. So I picked the quiet man for you. Mara's going to tell you a little bit more about.
This is in a different language. On fear Goin.
This is your eyes. That just says on fire, bro. No, it doesn't. I can't see.
I don't know, some kind of different language. The Quiet Man, blended Irish whiskey.
It's an Irish whiskey.
Oak bourbon cask matured, so it's in bourbon cask, an Irish whiskey.
So this is going to be a different taste
give it a
between
whirl.
these two. It's like the middle of a bourbon and a proper.
As a quiet man, or as we say in Irish, on fear Quinn. Oh, so on fear Cunin means
Quiet
a quiet
man.
man.
Quiet man.
Irish is a different language?
Gaelic.
Oh, Gaelic.
The Quiet Man was a John Wayne movie, right?
That's right.
I didn't know they had their own language.
So I've seen you around, Dave, and I feel like you're the quiet, like, voice of reason in the room a lot of the times. No, you did a heavy pour.
I did a little bit of I'm a little heavy-handed today.
Yeah. But we see a lot in the industry, being to a lot of conferences, speaking to a lot of folks. You see a lot of animated knuckleheads, right? I feel like you're the voice of reason in a lot of these rooms. You could sit in, like the Theodore Roosevelt, like walk quietly, big stick. Is that how it goes?
Walk quietly and carry a big stick.
That's it. Oh, God, I knew you'd be good for that. But I feel like that's the quiet man is for you, my friend.
Thank you.
In Gaelic, it is what Morrow cannot pronounce.
Bob, have you
Not
announced
bad.
our Bourbon of Proof tour of
shit.
Ireland next year?
Well, I guess you just did.
Yep. I let the cat out of the bag again. God damn
We
it.
haven't even started, we haven't picked a date yet. You're just fucking announcing shit.
But I'm going to Scotland to scout locations.
So Morrow is, as part of his tax write-off adventure,
Yes.
is going to go to Scotland and Ireland to write off a tour in September.
I'm going to scout locations.
Scout locations. But we would like to, this is one of the ones we want to do because this is not it's not as peaty as this. It's in between these two, but it's...
This reminds me of the Lagavulin, you know?
Yeah, fuck.
That kind of shit give you heartburn bad.
Yeah, can't do
This
it.
is good.
Yeah, we'll do a formal announcement of Ireland, which we're putting together, which would be very nice. But do you have any Irish blood in you?
I don't.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
are you?
sad.
English?
English?
Yeah.
Just English?
I've literally ran into someone with my last name twice in my life.
Really?
One is Trevor Goins at
I know Trevor.
in TL. Everyone's
talked
always
to
like,
Trevor
is that my brother?
20 times today.
Yeah.
20 times today I've talked
Yeah.
to Trevor.
Where's he from?
He actually is in Arkansas or something. He's, I don't know where he's physically, but we text and email all the time.
He's a PLR?
He runs conference management stuff, so we talk a lot about a lot of things. He's an awesome dude. He was just at Mark Lanier's conference last week. You'd probably recognize him if you saw him. But you guys are not related?
We're not. No.
That's wild.
No.
I was going to ask you that question.
Yeah.
You guys not know each other? No. There's only one other Mauro Fiore, but he's a cinematographer that
Okay.
Mauro signs his awards for him.
He's an Academy Award-winning cinematographer. He was a cinematographer. What's that movie where people are blue?
Avatar.
Avatar. Yeah. He won an Academy Award for that movie.
Okay.
And then
I
I live
bet
in Hollywood.
I bet he didn't drink Sugar Smacks, though.
No.
I live in Hollywood, and they figure, they do enough internet research, they find my address in Hollywood. I live in Hollywood Hills up by the Hollywood Bowl, and people send me Avatar shit to sign and stuff, and I send it back to them. I don't want to hurt their feelings. I autograph shit for Mauro Fiore, who lives in fucking New Mexico.